Edmond Azadian, who passed away this March at the age of 87, was one of the most influential political and cultural leaders of the Armenian world for many decades. A journalist, editor, executive, and activist, he served as president of the Central Board of the Tekeyan Cultural Association of the United States and Canada, and for many decades was a leader of the Armenian Democratic Liberal Party, or Ramgavars, abbreviated as ADL.
Ես ծնած եմ Լիբանանի մեջ, Ռայակ գյուղակահակը 1935 հայրս եւ մայրս փնիկ Ադանայեն են.
From Lebanon to Egypt, from the United States to Armenia, Azadian lived and worked as a staunch advocate of the Armenian community and the Armenian homeland. Azadian's thoughts and insights were reflected in his countless essays, many of them published by the Armenian Mirror-Spectator over the decades. He worked ceaselessly to the very end of his life. As senior editorial writer and guru for the Mirror-Spectator, Azadian published his last editorial only 2 weeks before his demise. Many of his newspaper articles and essays were published as monographs, in English and in Armenian.
Ես բավական վատ բնավորություն ունեմ, քրազները շատ չեմ բայել, բայց այդ վատ բնավորության ողջի ունիմ լավ բարեկամներ, որոնք միշտ կհավաքեն քրազներս եւ կներկայացնեն, որպեսզի խմբագրեմ եւ հրատարակության տամ.
After working for the Beirut paper Zartong, and then as editor-in-chief of Cairo's Arev newspaper, Azadian came to the U.S. in the 1960s to work in Watertown, writing for Baikar and the Mirror-Spectator, all ADL papers. In 1973, he moved to the Detroit area to work as an administrator for the great philanthropist Alex Manoogian. Azadian played a key role in setting up a museum and a community center in Detroit and ran a weekly wit radio show. He served on the AGBU Alex and Mari Manoogian School Board since 1972, supervising its Armenian Studies program and serving as director.
I just think it's wonderful to see all these people here to pay a tribute to Edmond for all he's done, not only for Masko and the Manoogian family, but for the entire Armenian community.
His connection to Armenia was very strong. In the Soviet era, he helped get the diaspora familiar with many Armenian cultural figures. As one of the leaders of the Armenian Democratic Liberal Party, Azadian was instrumental in establishing the Ask newspaper in Armenia after independence in 1991. As the leader of the Tekeyan Cultural Association, Azadian extended support to the schools of Armenia and Artsakh, particularly those which became named after poet Vahan Tekeyan. Azadian authored a volume about this poet. A staunch supporter of preserving the Armenian heritage in the diaspora, Azadian wrote extensively in Armenian, mainly Western Armenian, seeing his mission as a struggle for the survival of this unique Armenian tongue, while also supporting Armenian culture through work in English. He supported and participated in the Tekeyan Cultural Awards in Armenia as a means of helping intellectuals and strengthening Armenian culture in the independence period.
Համաշխարհային չափանիշով դարողություն ստացած է մեր գազագերբությունը, որովհետև աշխարհի ամեն կողմեն Թեքեյան ներկայացուցիչները եկած են միասին դոնախմբելու 70-ամյակը.
Azadian was the recipient of many honors, including an honorary doctorate from Yerevan State University, the St. Sahak St. Mesrop Medal from Catholicos of All Armenians Vaskan I, the Movses Khorenatsi and the Serving Armenia Presidential Awards, the Hagop Meghabart Medal from the Armenian National Library, and the diamond-studded Ararat Medal from the TCA of Armenia. He was married to the love of his life, the talented artist and teacher Nora Ipekyan, for many decades until her passing in 2021. The memory of Edmond Azadian will remain bright in the grateful hearts of the Armenian people in the United States, Canada, the Middle East, and the homeland of Armenia.